Caveman, David Rickels. Not looking so cavemanish. He's got a little beard trim from the last time we saw him. But he's fighting right by his house, 10 minutes down the street. Fighting Aaron Derrow coming up here at Bellator 171. Man, it's do you like fighting at home? Do you like fighting this close to home, or is it more stressful because it's this close to home?
The extra cash doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? It's like it's some tickets. But no, man, this is I think my fourth time fighting at home now, and yeah, I really I almost enjoy it, man. It's a lot of fun. The first couple times, I felt the pressure a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially when you lose, man. Like that's the worst. You always want to come back. So I got that little bit of comeback energy. Everybody's excited to be out there, man. So I'm excited to be there too.
So there, obviously, your last fight with Melvin Guillard was overturned because he failed his drug test again.
What do you do?
I got to ask you. Did
cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
Right? I mean, it'll make you kick a white couch.
Oh yeah.
Did he come out any stronger, any faster? And did he give you anything that you were surprised by?
No, man. I was just surprised by the end result, man. Because I was just, I was keeping him at range, man, touching him when I wanted to at the first. And, the clinch is usually a position I feel super comfortable in. And I think that's, was part of the problem is that's usually a situation, you get in that clinch situation. I was like, oh, this is gravy, baby. This is where I always am, So I got there, and then he snuck it was like an overhand elbow. And, of course, man, he cracked me good in the back of the head, and, I was definitely feeling it for sure.
All right, so what'd you take away from that fight then? Obviously, to be more diligent when you're in the clinch, but did you pull anything else out of that fight when you went back to training?
You know what I pulled out, man, is this fucking game is crazy. This is, dude, I just because that's the most tuned in I've ever felt, man. I was just dude, I walked out there, man, and I just didn't think that there was a chance in hell that Melvin Guillard was going to beat me that night. And, usually those are the nights that translate well. Usually that's when you go out there, you have these great performances, and it didn't work out that way. And I had to go, fuck, man, so just, this game is crazy, dude. Anything can happen, man, even when you feel on point. So, yeah, I'm rebounding off of that. It's all about, being as ready as you possibly can be. Nothing's changed for me, man. I always land on my feet. So
what's different than with this training camp?
What's different? Honestly, if anything, I've really just put a lot less pressure on myself, man. I've always, I'm one of those people who wake up and I try to make my day perfect for training. And then if it falls short, I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm that, if one thing, if I show up to class and there's only 2 people ready to spar, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That'll ruin my day and shit. So I've just relaxed a lot. I'm dude, it is what it is. Train my hardest, do what I can every day. But, when we get in there, this game's crazy. Just be as ready as you possibly can be, and that's all you can do.
And there are a ton of banana peels on that canvas out there.
I swear it, man. I swear it.
I mean, obviously, being in the game for as long as I was, and then now being a ref and commentating and all, having all those different hats on, I see some crazy stuff happening,
right.
And it seems like part of me says USADA came in and started drug testing, and a lot of guys' body images and body looks changed as a result. We saw some crazy things because they couldn't pull off the same crap they were pulling. And the other part of me is damn, these kids got young and got better. They're better than we were at the same level. You're one of those guys that's better at the same level that I was. You're just better. There's more to learn from. There's more to see.
Right.
Is it becoming? Do you see that too in practice? You get a young kid comes in and goes,
"Hell yeah! Oh man, yes, 100%, man." There's, and honestly, I'm the big name around the area. So, and all these, dude, these are little sharks, man. They're little sharks trying to nip at me, bro. I swear to God. They all want to be the king. They all want to be the king of Kansas, you know? So, it's honestly really awesome. You know, I see, dude, we've got a lot of hungry talent in the area. I think there's a few of us that, from my gym that are going to be on the main card, actually. Jessica Middleton, Brandon Phillips, Chris Harris might be on the main card, but anyhow, like I said, these kids are getting super hungry, and it honestly pushes me more. So, you know, while I'm still 28, still young enough to do it, man, I'm pushing myself harder now, trying to keep up with these the younger generation.
Is it? Does it feel harder every time you come in? Does it feel harder when you come in? Like, wow, I really got to work. I thought I had to work hard last camp. I got to work even 5% more this camp just to stay ahead of my training partners.
Right. Well, yeah, for sure. There's that, and then like there's this whole thing that I don't quite understand yet, but like my body is starting to hurt. I'm like, dude, I was just rested. I had to rest this weekend because my back hurt so bad. Like I couldn't even bend over. So, you know, but I felt great today. I had some good sparring. Everything went good. But dude, I don't ever take days off. Like that's, Dave Rickels is no days off. Like I just don't usually ever take days off. But I've had to do a little bit of that. Like I said, I've relaxed a little bit. You know, I've used my time wisely, but I'm not like killing myself.
So let's talk about Aaron Derrow. How do you see this fight? Like he's another, young, hungry kid trying to come through, and I mean, I shouldn't say young, hungry, but he's another hungry kid trying to come in and jump up on you and
for sure
step on top of you. I mean, you guys age-wise are pretty close. I think a year apart maybe, but it's you're definitely the bigger name of the two. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so once again, you're still the shark. He's still trying to chase you and trying to take little nips out of you. So
for sure.
What did you have to prepare for, or what do you think that he's going to try to do to you that you had to prepare for in camp?
If I was him and I was in his camp, like the biggest advantage he'd probably have is like grappling in some form or another, putting me on the mat, trying to get me there. He's kind of long and awkward in his stand up. In this fight, man, like I really just feel like I'm a lot better in a lot of areas, but again, I can't feel it. I can't feel safe in certain places, So I'm really just training everything, man. I'm training my BJ. I'm just trying to get better as always between camps. So I just want to be ready for whatever he tries to do. If he tries to fight some weird long stand-up game, I'm ready for that. If he wants to do some jiu-jitsu daddy long leg stuff on the ground, I'm gonna be ready for that too.
What does this fight do for you? At the end of it, you get a great knockout, an amazing submission.
It puts my nuts back on the table. It gets me back to where I need to be going, man. Because, dude, I've got, man. I really want to make one more good run at the 55 belt, and dude, I can't be losing to dudes like Aaron Derrow doing that. So that's where my head's at. So
you got to look at your record too. Your last 4 fights, you're 1-1. And 2. We have 2 no contests in there, the last 4 fights. And it's like you're fighting, but you're not getting anything that's put on your record that's moving you in the right direction. Right. And that's got to be tough. Yeah,
that the Alessio fight really hurt. Obviously, I just take it as an L. That's an L I took against Melvin Gillard. But yeah, they do hurt, man. They do. I need to be pushing forward. I need to be building my legacy, and it's kind of just like staying the same, Well,
Dave, man, thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate it. You look good, at least. I mean, you're smiling. You were before we started. You were giggling and joking around, and right. Usually you're kind of a little gruff. It takes a couple minutes to get you jovial again.
Dude, hey, and I'm also fighting at 170, so I don't know. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but.
Yeah, speaking of, what's your weight like right now?
178.
And so, is there? You said, I know you just said you want to make a big run at 155, but why take the fight at 170 then? If you wanted to fight if you want to make a run at 55.
Well, I said 55, man, but the truth is, I don't care where it's at. And if you want to ask why I'm doing a 170 fight, it's like I said, after that last fight. I wanted to focus on training, not so much like destroying my body from cutting weight. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this fight here in January, I want to do it at 170. So we found a 55er that would want to fight 70. But he's fought both, I think. I think he's fought 55 and 70. But anyhow, like I said, I just didn't want to kill my body this go around. I've been doing it for so damn long, and for me to make 55 is really hard, man. So,
hey, there's a lot of guys that are fighting right now that are missing weight that should obviously move up. A couple of guys have moved up just because they needed to get a fight in and had to move up a weight class and looked outstanding at their weight class.
Right.
Like they've cut weight so hard that it really does. You spend the last 3-4 weeks of your training camp just trying to get your weight down. Not worrying about timing, not worrying about speed, not worrying about strength and conditioning. So I think this move for you down to 70 is actually really good, or up to 70 rather, is really good. You'd be surprised. You might surprise yourself at how well you do being up at that weight class.
Yeah, no, I'm like 100% with you. Like, I really did. Another reason was also I want to see how I feel at 70. I want to see how, in my head I could be wrong, but man, like, as much as research as I've done on hydration and this thing and that, a little more water in my skull would help me a lot. So I feel like this 170 thing could be permanent, but I just want to see how I feel.
I like it, Dave. Thanks so much for coming out here, man. Have a great rest of your training camp. Have fun. Enjoy the fight. We'll talk soon.
No doubt. Hey, thanks, man.